Well, good evening, gang, and welcome to It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and to my right and to your left, of course, is the lovely Amanda Lamoureux Smith. Hello, Amanda. How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Very well, thanks. And we're coming to you live from our beautiful studios here at BNN TV, and you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. We're at 617-708-3290. Give us a call. Call in the gang or in the other room answering the phone. So if you'd like to join us and let us know what artful things you are up to, please feel free to do just that. Thank you. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
It is Halloween, isn't it?
Yeah. Ugh. We should have dressed up. Why did we not think about that?
I am dressed up.
I am too. I'm a puzzle piece.
I'm an art teacher.
Yeah.
I've been at Halloween all day. You know, as some of you know, I teach at an elementary school and preschool, so it's like the kids have been
chaos
all day long, and it's been, Mr. Williams, you know what I'm going to be? But it's been fun because one of the things that we do is we have this parade where the kids all get to put their costumes on and kind of parade around the school and around outside, and we get the audio-visual kids to video it and interview some of the kids. It's fun. So it was.
They will sleep well tonight. Well, maybe not after the candy.
I don't know. There's no telling what's going to happen to them tonight because I'm sure that they're out there. But a quick reminder, we are coming to you also on WBCA 102.9 on your FM dial. And if you are out there riding around, please keep an eye out for our younger citizens who might be bopping around. On my way over, I went through Center Street in Jamaica Plain by the Costellos and CVS and the JP Licks and all that, and they have every store has candy and stuff out front. And the kids are the place is mobbed with more kids. There's more kids out there than you can believe, but it was great. It was great fun to see all the kids out enjoying themselves. So let's hope for a nice, safe evening.
Yes.
Do you do anything special for Halloween? Do you get dressed up as a fairy princess or something?
No, I'm not a fairy princess. I was more a superhero. I was never a fairy princess. Oh, okay. Yeah. But I wish we had more kids in the neighborhood because I get excited at the concept.
Yeah.
Not that I would be home this year to be doing that, but yeah, it's always fun to see the kids, you know, excited, and then you see the kids that run up and just grab all the candy. And Mom's like, no.
We love it because we get a bunch of the kids from school that come by.
Yeah.
Some of the kids that are no longer in school come by to visit, which is kind of nice to have happen. Yeah.
Of course.
This Friday, December 4th, I'm playing. November 4th. Let's not push it. November 4th, I'll be playing at the Dedham Coffee House, Dedham Square Coffee House, with Tim Casey and my great friends Andy Hollinger and Timmy. We're going to be doing a couple of live sets.
Awesome.
I don't get to play out live very often, just by choice, but it'll be fun because it's a nice, relaxed gig. You know, our good friend Ray does a great job of making it a nice, comfortable atmosphere for not only the performers but also for the people who are there to listen. You get a chance to kind of get close and you get to talk, and it's kind of personal.
More intimate, yeah.
More intimate, and I like that. There's a fireplace.
Yeah, and do you sing your own stuff?
Oh yeah. We're gonna do. We'll throw a couple of cover tunes in there. I mean, I play Blackbird all the time by Paul McCartney. Do you know what Blackbird's about? Anybody? Does anybody know what the song Blackbird's about? Becky took me for my something birthday to see Paul McCartney at the Boston Gardens. And he did an acoustic set. And he sat there for a couple of minutes and talked to everybody about the song Blackbird. And it's about the plight. And it fascinates me that somebody this very, you know, privileged English dude playing rock and roll all over the place has this kind of sensitivity. But listen to his music. I mean, obviously. He wrote this song in honor of the plight of black women in the southern states of the United States. So if you think about the words of it, it really captures that. So I do that song every time and I tell that story because I think it's important that people know that, you know, this is one of the things that this guy was thinking about in '67. Yeah. So think about what the nature of the country was in '67. It was very turbulent, you know. So for him to make that kind of connection makes him even a bigger
Yeah, and then his story continues through you.
Oh yeah, and it's nice, and it's a great song.
Right.
It's a boost, and I can pull it off, kinda. So
Yeah.
I get to do it.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
I went to New York this weekend.
The Big Apple.
Big Apple. We
Were you
fit in a lot of stuff.
in Times Square area?
I was at the Renaissance.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was fun. And my sister and her husband are event planners, so they packed us full of all of the necessary places that we must see. So we were...
To go to the Hard Rock?
No, we went to McSorley's, which I guess was the first bar in Manhattan. And
That's an old bar.
I know. No, but so I guess President Lincoln, people were there when they found out that he had been shot.
No,
and
really?
Then, so there's only light beer and dark beer. So when we were going in, I was like, oh, so maybe I'll get a Guinness. And she's like, no, Mita, light beer, there are no brands. It's light beer or dark beer. So I was like, okay, well, that makes it easy. I guess I'll have a dark beer.
Yeah, right.
That's easy.
Well, that's it. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
You know, we have an artist with us tonight who has a great portrait of Lincoln out in our
really?
gallery out here. you know.
Perfect.
It's very, very exciting. I hung this show the other day.
And you enjoy doing that, correct?
I love,
Yeah.
I love curating and hanging out. You know, it's just, it's something that I end up taking more time to do than I suppose is really necessary to you know, not so much the lining up, but kind of putting the pieces together so there's a little bit of a continuity to it.
Well, that's an art in and of itself.
Well, it's kind of cool. But one of the things I also do is I let the artists, I take into consideration the way the artists lay it out when they bring it in. Some people just pile it all in one corner and leave it up to me, but this was kind of laid out a little bit, and I'm looking at it and going, gee, you know, this isn't bad, this is good, this is, you know, let me move this piece here, let me move this piece here, so it was kind of fun to do.
Awesome.
Yeah. So anyways, that thing up in Dedham, it'll be 8 o'clock. Come and have dinner. There's no cover. It's free and all that jazz, you know. So come on by and say hello and listen to a little bit of music. Have a nosh, cold beer. It'd be nice. It'd be a lot of
Light
fun.
or dark?
Light or dark. It'd be fun. So what else did you do in New York besides get all lick it up in the old spot?
Yeah, we went to Central Park.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
We went to the 9/11 Memorial.
You know, I haven't been to that
museum.
How was that?
It was good. It was tough, of course.
Yeah.
The messages, because they play on the intercom system, you know, messages from people that, you know, were in, oh, honey, don't worry, I'm in Tower 2, and those things, and that's just like, oh, you know? Because at that point, they didn't realize the severity of what was to come.
There was a fire in the building next door.
Right, exactly. Don't worry, honey, you're going to see it on the news. I'm in the other tower, don't worry. You know?
Well, that's an absolute part of our history now that I'm embarrassed to say I haven't been down to visit. You know, I've only been to New York a couple of times, and it's always been kind of banging out. But
buy your tickets in advance.
Is it a busy place? I can only imagine. It must be.
I was so happy that we did that because the line was just.
Now you were just a youngster when that happened.
I was a sophomore in high school.
Well, yeah, so it's kind of something that's been with you most of your
I remember that exact day.
life.
It reminds me of my father says that when JFK was assassinated, he knows exactly where he was, and he said there'll be an event in your life that happens. I'm like, okay, Dad.
Yes.
Oh, he's right.
It's true.
I remember what seat I was sitting in.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate thing, but I'm glad that it's preserved there for people to never forget, you know, and I'm sure, well, it's something that's impossible to forget.
Of course.
How's your art doing?
It's good.
You notice how I called it art? Not art.
At
I got taken on.
Boston.
I had somebody take me on that the other day.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. What? And they kept they wanted me to say art. Art.
Why? That's the art of Boston, though, is to say at. You know?
Well, what have you been doing? Are you finished with anything new?
Yeah, so I'm trying to juggle so many balls right now, so I'm waiting until I don't want to force my art. I think that's so counterintuitive to the whole concept of it. So I'm waiting till I have some peace and quiet to start up some pieces and maybe edit some old ones that...
Now, you'll go back and change pieces?
Yeah, I will. And I'll put a lot on the wall and kind of walk away from it. Come back a couple days later, you know, see how I feel about it.
Well, that's the way. That's a good way to do it. You know, to put a piece up and kind of walk around with it, live with it a little bit, see how you like it.
Yeah, and I'm in a much different place than I was when I first started getting into it because I'm relatively new to the art scene. So it'll be interesting to come back and see what my thoughts are on my early pieces.
Hey, you should always revisit your work if it hasn't flown off the wall
Yeah.
someplace, somewhere. Well, we got a jam-packed show tonight. We've got a couple of the premier open studios in the city are in the building today. You know, the cats from South Boston are here. Those guys do it right. Boy, they got a huge organization over there, and the Fenway. Fenway's here too, so we're going to be talking about open studios today. As everyone knows, we just had ours in Rosendale. It was a huge success.
I know. I'm happy to hear
that. It was a lot of fun, and but they all come now. Boom, 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 boom. You know, now's the time. Right? Now's the time to really start talking about it. But we're going to get a great opportunity to talk to some people who've been doing it for quite a while, and been organizing these kinds of events. It'd be nice to get their take on how it's grown through the years and how it's changed, and some of the things we may be looking forward to in the future with the addition of Judy Barrows, the Czar of Arts in Boston, the commissioner. So you know what we're going to do first, though, is I do want to take a couple of seconds to let everybody know that if you're out there in your car and listening to us, you're listening to us on WBCA 102.9 on your FM dial. Thank you for tuning in with us. And if you're interested in doing any of this kind of programming, go to www.bnntv.org. Let's talk about this building for a couple of seconds. BNN TV, Boston Neighborhood Network, is the access channel, cable access. Many years ago, the legislature put out this thing that people needed to have an opportunity to have their voice. And they through legislation, they determined that there's going to always be a space on the airwaves for people to do television production, just like this. Here at BNN, there's a couple of ways that they do it. One of the ways that they do it, which is very successful, is they have nonprofits come and do their mission statement, which is what we're doing right now. We're representing one of the great nonprofits and one of the great organizations in the city, Boston Main Streets, which is that volunteer-driven organization that helps revitalize business districts. But the great part of it is that they combine people who own businesses, people who are professional lawyers and architects and people like that, with people that live in the community to determine how the business district should be structured. So we want to thank them for all of their support over the years, of course. But this building here is an amazing opportunity for Bostonians to come in and do their television production. There's this side you're watching right now, Channel 9. Then there's the other side, Channel 27. Channel 23. You know, it used to be 27. That kind of tells you how long I've been here. Yeah. We've gone through a couple of sections on the dial. But we're on Channel 23, and that is where people join and become members. And they can take some courses in Final Cut Pro and how to do lighting, how to run these fascinating cameras, and how to be in the control room and edit in our Timothy Smith lab downstairs. You know, do we want to turn the station? Do we want to, I'm going to reach down here and I'm just going to turn the station, and we're going to see what's on that other station. Okay, here I'm going to turn the station. Well, they're obviously reliving old horror movies over on Channel 23. But that's where people get an opportunity to do their own programming. Sign up some amazing cameras, go and do the local councilman's debate, or do the local skating competition at the rink, and edit it, and they put it on TV. If you're interested in being involved in any of that, please go to www.bnntv.org. Click on Jim Atwood's name. He's the cat with all the know-how, and he'll get you started as far as being able to do some of the really cool things that we do here. It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. This building used to be the power station for the MBTA. When we moved in here, I'll go back 10 years now, this was just an empty shell of a building with these big, huge, antiquated generators just rusting in the middle of it.
I know, it's so sad.
But now it's a great home for us to do this cool stuff. Do you have a
Weekly motivation.
A weekly motivation
Sure
for us.
do.
Thank you for saving me there. That was very slick. You're very slick today. Well, you know what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. We're coming to you live from our beautiful studios here at Studio B, actually, at BNN TV. My name is Glenn. This is Amanda. Listen, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Please do not go away. Welcome back, gang. Thanks an awful lot for hanging in there with us. My name is Glenn Williams. You're watching It's All About Arts, BNN TV's It's All About Arts. And we're coming to you live from our beautiful studios. And if you want to give us a call, we're at 617-708-3290. A couple of things before we get to Amanda's weekly motivation is that this show will be available on our Facebook page and our YouTube page. If you go to It's All About Arts on your Facebook page, it'll be up on there. And please go, give us a like if you like us. That's fine and cool, but it's always available for you to go and check it out. And our Facebook page is It's All About Arts and the number 1. But right now, it is time for that weekly section of the show that helps us on a Monday get up and ready to face the week. It's our weekly motivation with Amanda.
Hi guys, happy Halloween. So the quote for this week is, life is 10% of what happens to us and 90% of how we react to that. The quote was written by Dennis Kimbrough, and obviously life will throw you things that you can't control. The one thing that you can control is your reactions to life events. And of course there's ebbs and flows in life and you have to adjust accordingly. The one thing that will give you strength to keep going is that you can adjust how you respond to things and make sure that you're doing your part to better the situation and wait for the tide to roll over. That's my quote for you guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Weekly Motivation, and back to Glenn.
Thank you, Amanda. I am so guilty of that all the time. I'll react to something and change the situation entirely into something it doesn't need to be. Thank you for that reminder. I do appreciate that. But right now, it's my great pleasure and honor to bring old friend Dan McCole. How are you, buddy?
Doing good. How about you?
Very well. It's awful good to see you. And P.T. Sullivan, hello, sir. Thank you. It's good to see you guys again. You guys from the South Boston Open Studios. It's that time of year again.
That time of year again.
I want to thank you for Janice and I. You came and visited us over in that far off section of the world, Roslindale.
I told you.
All the alarms went off as soon as you hit Rosie Square, you know.
After I leave Andrew Square, I don't know where the hell I am.
Amarine's, the light went on and said,
Yeah,
he's out
yeah.
of town. You better go save him. But thank you very much for coming over.
I'm glad to get over there.
And joining us. It was a lot of fun.
You guys do great work.
Thank you. We appreciate
And
that.
you took me for 3 gifts, by
I
the way.
know we did. We did take you for 3 pieces. Yes. Thank you. So now I'm supposing we're going to have to come by and see you on November 5th and 6th.
Oh, that could happen.
That sounds like a possibility.
We want to talk about the open studios, but first I'd like.
You've got a great art association. A great organization.
This is what I want to talk about.
Yeah, let's
the
talk
art
about that for a
association,
couple
and
minutes.
then we'll
Sure.
get to the open studios. But we have a meeting coming up in 2 weeks, a week from Saturday. We meet every Saturday morning, every second Saturday of the month.
Yeah.
In the Elstree Bathhouse,
Yeah.
Curly Center they call it. And our guest is one of our members. He's the guest artist of the day, and it's Paul Christian, former fire commissioner.
I do know him, and I think that we...
He just published this book,
Look at this.
St. Patrick's Day Parade.
It's nice. Now this is published. He published this in Southie.
Yes, he did, yeah.
That's great. Paul's is he still the commissioner?
Nope,
No.
retired.
He's retired. You know, Janice was so impressed with him. I guess she came over and met with you guys too. And
He's a great guy.
He got her talking and stuff.
Yeah.
They got jabbing back and forth, and because you know our son's a fireman.
Really? Didn't know
Over
that.
in Weymouth. He's a Weymouth fireman. We're awful proud of him.
Well, Paul is also a painter, and he'll tell you he isn't, but...
Oh, that's not true. I've seen his work.
He does great work.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. Good guy. Just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
He's going to be the guest at Saturday. It starts 9:30 in the morning. Public is invited.
Absolutely.
And I made notes. Is that
Please.
okay? I can read from this.
Sorry.
No, I can read okay, I think. So anyhow, and we've been really working on a plan or a proposal to get involved with the old Edison company on the power plant on L Street, which has been there and it's been dormant for the last, 10 years. But they finally sold it to a developer. The developer was called Redgate. And there seemed to be a reasonable, if that's the word we can say about developers. They invited a few of us over to talk about what we would probably want to see in the development. We're talking 15 acres.
Yeah, it's a big space.
Yeah, and it's in a beautiful location. It's a short walk from the convention center, a short walk from the cruise center, and of course it's local for the people in South Boston. And they probably will have parking there. Because the first thing you talk about with anybody in South Boston or anywhere
is parking.
Is their parking. They ask you, and of course they would be in that. We want to get a arts and cultural community center, and that's very important because we have no place to light, no place to go, and we have programs. We had a program called the Lighthouses, and I think we've talked about that before, where we had 8-foot by 2-foot pieces of plywood that were shaped like a lighthouse, just very simple. And we asked the young people in the Community Health Center, which is our partner in this, and they to paint anything they wanted on it. They could paint a farmyard or a lighthouse or whatever. And we ended up with 150 of them, and unfortunately...
This is a horror story.
Yeah, it is a horror. It's Halloween. Well,
yeah, it's a horror story.
So anyhow, we had 150 of them done because other organizations in the town joined in and they did their own for it, so we welcome that. We had a storage problem. We were putting them in places that they got damp, so we pulled them out, and then we finally found a nice spot that was nice and clean. Developer offered this for us. We said, great. And then a year later, he decided to develop it, and bingo. The cleaners come in, and there goes all of our
They threw them away.
All of the work of, and the thing about them was we would take these lighthouses and attach them to lampposts and trees along West Broadway and East Broadway in South Boston. And now the kids that did this, that worked in this, they come out and this is their work. It wasn't in some back room of the school or the library. It was out in the street, and their parents would come, their grandparents, their friends, and it was just, it worked.
There's a
very
pride thing and an ownership thing that's, you know, that's.
well, we're doing it again, by the
Good.
way. In
That's
fact,
the-
we just got the lumber in, it's all cut, ready to be primed, and we'll be starting in a week. Anyhow,
Excellent.
that's going, through the Artists for Humanities, by the way.
There's a great organization up there on West 2nd, right?
Yeah, West 2nd and A Street.
Street,
Yeah. And then we've opened, in order to publicize the fact that we want to get this art center going, we open up a gallery, and we call it, it's on E Street in South Boston, the letter E, and it's called Arts Around the Corner. It's around the corner from West Broadway. And we've had it since January. And what we wanted was a public face in Southie to let people know that we were working on the arts program, and we're really serious about it.
How's the space been working out?
It's going fine.
Is
It's
it,
going
you got
really
people
good.
walking in?
Yeah,
People
a lot
stopping
of
by?
people walking in.
That's
yes,
great.
Yeah,
That's the idea, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
Here's our sign.
Yeah.
Hold up, there's two of them.
Yeah.
I talked to Whistler, and said it's okay.
He said it was okay for you to do
It
that?
was okay to get his
Mom's
mother.
not going to mind?
No, that's a different thing. That's some
I love the
murals.
murals.
Yeah. They knocked that down, by the way, that mural.
What's going on over there?
Well, they made a photo of it though, and they have it hanging again. So it's well, yeah, it's what's going on is right. Another mural we did, and this is on
like
a
this.
storage unit in the L Street bathhouse. Now it's this painting right here. It's a painting of a copy of a painting by John Skelton. He's an Irish painter. So we did that. The only problem is it's on a storage unit on the beach that faces the beach. So if you're lucky enough while you're drowning, you could see it.
As you're going down.
As
for
you're going
the third
down.
time.
Could be the last thing you see in life. But that's it. We did one more, and that's this one here. It's out in the Sailing Center in Castle
Oh,
Island.
this is kind of cool.
And that's the Sailing Center, and that's another John Skelton painting called Landing the Curragh being the Irish boat. So that's, and by the size-wise, that's 30 feet wide by 10 feet
Yeah, I
deep.
can see it's got a good size
Yeah.
to it. Very cool.
All right, I've got one, oh, okay, that's about that. So, but I want to show two of my paintings.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
okay?
You know, Dan, you're one of these cats that your
That-
work is just so.
That's a watercolor I did of a place that I lived in, Provincetown.
Where's my briefcase?
in 1951.
That's beautiful.
We lived on top of that garage,
No kidding.
me and two other guys.
No kidding.
So I was down there this summer, and it's leaning. So I said, I better paint
get it now.
I better paint it before it goes, which I did.
Now this is a piece that's hanging out in the B&N gallery right now.
Yeah.
This is a fabulous
It's
piece.
a copy of a painting by Norman Rockwell. I don't copy paintings, but this was for a competition we had down in Quincy through the Quincy Arts Association. And it's called Fabulous Fakes. You take a classic
Yeah,
and you do
yeah.
your rendition of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have 2 years running. We had about 40 to 50 people that, and some wonderful work, by the way.
Right.
By the way, that's a watercolor of an oil.
Why not?
Why not? And, okay, let's talk about the real thing.
The real thing.
That's the South Boston.
South Boston Open
You're on,
Studios.
PT. Sorry to steal all the time.
PT, jump in here. How are you, sir?
Doing well, thank you very much.
That's great. Are you co-chairing the
There's a few of us that are working diligently
working
to get everything
diligently to
done.
get this? How long has Open Studios been around? And I know there's several different groups. There's 4 Point, and then there's
For the distillery, I believe they've been doing it for about 25 years.
amazing.
Yeah, so it's been a ongoing project, and for the last 5 years, I've been taking part, helping out where I can.
Great, and you're an artist as well. What's your medium?
I do photography.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't look like a typical standard photograph. However, it's traditional in the methods. I could do it with film as well.
Right. Tell me a little bit. How many artists are going to be participating this year?
We have 40 artists from within the South Boston area directly participating in the Open Studios, as well as Thomas Young Gallery has open up their gallery space inside the building where there'll be about 75 additional artists. And then plus we have a violin player, 2 authors who are going to be reading, and we also have a DJ party with some live painting. I wouldn't call it a party as much as an event,
Right.
but it's something where we're trying to mix things up a little bit and draw more of the public in.
Are there any people opening their home studios or
Yeah.
home galleries or things
Yeah,
like that?
Dan, myself, like I said, there's probably about 40 people that'll be doing that.
That's great, because I always feel that that whole open studios concept is where you get to go see the cat where they're working.
Yeah,
Where they're doing their work, because I think that's very, very inspirational to people, not only artists, but I think it also helps people understand a little bit of the process,
Yeah, it's definitely different when you have all those types of
Yeah.
different layouts in the building too.
We've got a couple of pieces of yours that we want to take a look at, and
sure.
maybe you can talk me through what we're looking at. Well, tell me a little bit about that.
This is a rendition that is based off of Francis Bacon's George Dwyer on a Bicycle, so kind of like the same idea of what Dan McCole just showed with his Lincoln painting. I did my thesis based on Francis Bacon's work, but this is an actual straight photo, even though it may not look like it. It's technique I've been working on and developing over the years.
Excellent. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if they have anything else. Yeah, it's similar. This is the one that came out the most like. When I was doing these, I had to recreate the actual image and line everything up, and that's actually me on 2 bicycles. And so getting the image just right, it took a couple times. So yeah.
How do you ride 2 bicycles at once? That's the main question.
Well, that's the trick. I mean, that's part of it.
and take the picture.
Yeah, timing.
What kind of equipment are you working with?
I'm on the Nikon
Yeah.
equipment right now. They've
Yeah.
been generous for me for over the years, and I've started using digital a lot more. When I worked for the Boston Globe, I was probably one of the
You
last.
were all analog, right? You
Yeah.
kind of last one come kicking and screaming across the divide.
Yeah, I finally got it. Teddy Gartland was like, "Hey, time to go digital, kid."
You can't keep. Is it that you can't keep up? Was it?
It's just, instead of them running the machine, I could upload
process
it
is
in
so
the
much
time
quicker.
travel and everything else.
Do you find that you're taking your photography's changed because of the digital?
I
world?
think I'm taking a lot more photos than I used to,
Yeah,
and I'm
there's
kind
more
of being a little bit more explorative because it's not like, oh crap, I got to pay for this roll of film.
Yeah. No, that's a big deal, and
Yeah.
and the time
Yeah.
involved as well.
So it's been a blessing, but also I think it's changed the industry as well. I mean,
course it
photo
is.
gigs as a photojournalist is difficult these days.
Telephone.
Yeah, everybody can do it with their
Everybody
phone.
can do it.
I mean, what was it? Chicago, one of the papers there let go of all the photo staff and said, oh, we're going to teach the public how to use their iPhone to get news.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Well, they're still doing it that way.
Yeah,
Sports Illustrated just let everybody go too.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's all like AP and everything else of that.
Cats that are taking pictures at those levels, though, are they're artists.
Oh yeah, it's
I mean, anybody can hold the shutter down and get get 30 shots of a 10-second event and go to number 15 as the best of the bunch.
Right.
It takes somebody to know when to take that picture.
Yeah.
Those are the artists, I think.
I mean, it was 10 years for me with the Globe, and it was a lot of fun. My first 3 were in Ireland.
Right. I like to hear that Open Studios is kind of branching out. Isn't the right word? I think that expanding some of you're going to have a poet, you're going to have music.
Yeah, we're definitely looking to bring in a diversity of types of music and types of art and types of expression.
Right.
The Art Association, this is Arts Association. We
Yeah, with an
cover
S.
all the arts.
Yeah.
Heavy on writers,
That's good.
photographers, and painters.
All the mediums, I think, any creative outlet that people are using to express themselves or to pass on some kind of information, I think is really, really important. Dan, can you give us the email address or the website for the Art Association so people can get in touch with you to get more information?
The website is South Boston Arts, ASSOC.com.
Okay. We're gonna link that to our main page, so people just click on your name and it goes right there.
My website is Dan McCole.
Well, that's easy. Was that one still available when you went to look for it?
Very simple.
And southbostonopenstudios.org is
South Boston
well,
Open
people can
Studios.
go. They can review all of the things and the locations and all of that.
Yeah, we're working on updating it. It's herding cats, trying to get all the
Of course
artists
it is.
together.
Sure
So
it is. Believe me, I've been there. I understand totally. Dan, I want to thank you.
Thank you for having
Thanks
me.
for coming in. And
Thanks for showing me this week.
I'll tell them all what happened if you want.
Tell them all what happened. Oh my God.
Dan was supposed to be on last week, and I didn't look out the window in time. I'm taking full responsibility for this one. But thank God he came back this week. That's all I can say.
Well, you know there was a comedian called Judge Goebel. I don't know
Oh,
if
I
you
know
heard of him.
Judge Goebel, sure.
Well, he was on the Johnny Carson show one night, and he came in last with about 5 minutes left. And on the show, prior to him, sitting on the couch was Bob Hope, Dean Martin, Phyllis Diller, and I think Angie Dickerson. And he come out, and so Johnny Carson says to him, how you doing? He says, well, he says, you ever get a feeling that the world is a tuxedo and you have a pair of brown shoes? No.
I'm sorry.
That's how I felt.
Dan, thank you for coming
Pair of
back
brown
this week.
shoes.
Thank you,
PT,
sir.
thank you very much. Good luck, guys. That's November 5th and 6th, 12 till 6 p.m. both days, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, no problem. Listen, gang, we'll be back. We're only halfway done. Don't go away. We'll be back in just one quick second. We're going to be talking to the cats from Fenway about open studios. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Well, welcome back, gang. Thanks an awful lot for hanging in there with us. We're coming to you live from our beautiful studios here at BNN TV, and we're also showing the show at some point on WBCA 102.9 on your FM dial. But right now, it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce you to Han Haas-Feldman, right? Nan Haas-Feldman and Henry Gates. Hello, sir. How are you? Thank you very much for coming. You guys are from the Fenway Open Studios, which is the week after South Boston, right?
Yes.
It's on the 12th and 13th.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for coming in. I really do appreciate seeing you here. How long is are you guys co-chairs? Are you guys?
Yeah, she's the lead chair.
I'm sort of co-chair with Linda McNally, who is not an artist, but on the Friends of the Fenway.
Okay.
Which is an organization that helps us.
That's great.
raises money
That's
for us.
excellent.
So,
How long have you been doing open studios in the Fenway?
Well, I've been in the studio myself for, I think, 12 years, and I've been co-chair for about 8 of them.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Great. What's your medium?
I have many mediums that I've used over the many, many years, but mainly I would say I'm an oil painter.
Okay.
Although I do mixed media and acrylics, but mainly oils.
Great. And Henry, how about you? How long have you been doing the Fenway thing?
I'm the newest. I've been there just, this will be my third
Oh,
open
great.
studio.
Great. And,
So I'm one
and
of
your
the young
medium
ones.
is? What do you do? What do you-
Paint and pastels. I've moved to oils.
Okay. Oh, really? Went from pastels to oils?
Yes, I
You have a
had
lot
a
of
whole
patience?
decade with pastels, and then had a decade with clay, and now I'm
Okay.
in Fenway doing
That's great.
oils.
Yeah, oils have always been, I love to work with them and stuff. I just want it to be done.
Yeah.
They take so long to
I've got
dry.
the patience for them.
Use a lot of turpentine.
Yeah, there's a lot of. That part doesn't bother me as much as, okay, I want to do something else on this now,
yeah.
But I guess that's where the whole working on several pieces comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys have a public space where people are going to be showing, much like South Boston and some of these studios have come up with, where there's going to be a group of artists in one spot?
No, because the Fenway is really sort of a unique situation. It was built in 1905 for the artists. It wasn't converted from any other building, so it was built as live workspaces.
Okay.
And so all the artists that are opening up their semi sort of home studios, and so it's really the spaces that many of us live in, and some of us live in part-time, some live there full-time, and where we also work. So the people that will be coming will be seeing how we sort of live and work.
Yeah, I
and,
think that's one of the original concepts of open studios. Like I was talking with Dan and PT, is that it's kind of like an opportunity for people to see your workspace. You come in and
Yes.
there'll be some pieces might not be finished. There's that pile
Yeah.
of stuff in the corner.
Yeah.
Show it.
And the work that you're displaying at the time,
Yes.
is very important.
And I think because each of the studios has really a beautiful space. We all have, these 12-foot high windows, 14-foot high ceilings.
Oh,
Everybody in the building has that. So there's wonderful wall space and lots of room to be able to show a lot of work. So some of us will show a lot, some will show a little bit, but each of us, of course, as in most studios, buildings are very different from each other.
Yeah.
And so that's the beauty of it too, is to go around and visit and see where we work, how we work,
Right.
and what kind of work we do.
Are the mediums right across the board? I mean, are there people doing
Almost.
sculpture? Is there
It was formerly
encaustic
the
work
Boston
and stuff?
School, and so there was sort of
you're over
an
on
attempt to
Ipswich
keep
Street,
the
right?
old,
Yes.
Yeah.
an attempt to really use the way it was designed, but the media changes and everybody goes their own course.
Right.
Yes.
But it is largely, I
But
think,
it's
half of it's
mainly
representative.
two-dimensional, and it doesn't really include photography. I mean, it's really drawing, painting, printmaking.
Okay, so there's not a lot of
Strictly.
kilns,
It's
or
strictly,
there's
No,
no
no.
killing in there and
it's
stuff.
strictly,
It's
mostly painters.
Yeah, it's all.
Mostly
That's
painters.
that. Well, that's great. That's interesting. How many of
Studios?
how many artists will be on display on the 13th?
Well, there's
12th and 13th?
21 studios will be open, and so I think there's probably, I actually have it on the back here,
There
but
you
there's
go.
4 floors, so really there are a number in each, at least probably 5 or more open on each floor, so people can, if they time it right, and they spend a good amount of time there, they can probably get to
You
all
can get
21.
to all of them, all right?
Yeah.
I mean, like
compact.
some of these open studios have 80, 100.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
can't get to everybody.
Yeah, that would be difficult.
So this is a nice day.
Yes, and it'll be the 2 days, so the Saturday and the Sunday, November 12th and 13th. And so I think it's probably doable, whereas you're right, if there's many more artists, it would be hard
Yeah, that would be tough.
give justice to each of them.
This is very beautiful.
Thanh you.
This
That's
is
a little
you.
one. Yeah, that's
This
a
is
little
you.
one.
No water is lonely water.
There's a whole series from that I did. I teach many places in the world, so that was from in Mexico.
Well,
and
this
in
has a
beautiful
very
Lily
Mexican
Pond.
thing.
Yeah.
And actually, that one is sort of based on Aboriginal art, which is symbol-based and but not representational in any way. So I made up my own symbol of vessels, and so
It's beautiful.
was inspired by.
Do you work
Aboriginal
on several pieces at once?
Well, the way that I work is because I do everything in series.
Yeah.
I sketch everything out, basically a piece of charcoal, kneaded eraser, and fixative. I will sketch out the idea for many, many works, and then And then once I have the line sketch, that's all I need. I don't need a photograph or anything else. The color is all made up, the patterns are made up, and so I actually work on one at a time, but I might have 20 sketched out.
Yeah, so you do work on several pieces at a time.
Yeah, so the concept of it is ready to go.
It's very beautiful. Did you bring some? You brought some photos for us to
Yes, I
for us to check
I
out.
did.
These some of the artists that are going to be in open studios.
well,
Or they
I was
all-
asked actually just
This
to
one
bring
here?
a
It's
thumb
her.
drive. It's mine, actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So that one
Let's-
is from China. Again, I teach many places in the world. So, and when I come home, the following year, the year that follows, I concentrate on my inspiration from that location.
Oh, nice. That's nice to have that opportunity.
Yes, yes, it is. And that also is China. That was I teach at the Worcester Art Museum and the Danforth Museum and the Oceana Cruise Line. So.
That must be nice.
Yes, it is nice. It is nice. Actually, that's my porch. I don't have to go far. Really, my own house.
To find something to paint, right?
No,
Yeah,
I do not.
yeah,
I
yeah.
do not. I do not at all.
Oh,
And that's actually made up, except for the little sculpture. That's actually real. That's also China.
beautiful work.
Thank you. So and that's actually Italy. So and that's actually Italy also. So much of it is other than the composition is really made up.
Right. That's
colors,
great. That's great.
patterns.
Henry, do we have
Yes.
any of your work here?
Yes, I brought
Yes.
3
Yeah.
items.
Yeah, let me see.
The smallest of these is going to be the raffle. We have 4
Oh, you have a
artists that
raffle
donate
going
work,
on. Yep, yep.
and this is one of those.
You know there's nails in the back of this?
Yes, yes.
Do not sit on this painting. You'll be surprised. So there's a raffle.
Yes.
So you cats are raising some funds for your organization by raffling off. What website can I go to get more information about that?
That's all on
So,
Fenway.com.
yeah, well, fenwaystudios.org is the
This
the
is
website,
beautiful.
and then also it is publicized or advertised on the Friends of the Fenway Studios, and it's friendsofFenwaystudios.org. So we have 2 websites. One is the artist, and one is the organization that is interested in architectural preservation of our building.
We're always, all of our Bostonians are always interested in that. What is this I've got here?
I'm working sort of with a concept of altar works, thinking that art can be shown as hidden and open. And so the gate is when it's closed, you get to see just essentially, the appearance or the invitation to look inside.
Oh, that's
and
pretty
so
interesting.
I often use an Adam and Eve motif, but often comment a lot on art making and art materials.
Yep.
So I'm using 2 mannequins, in terms of, creating
Art
an
mannequins,
entrance
yeah,
into
yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
artist, wooden
Those-
dolls
I
that
got
are
10 of them in my
formed.
classroom, I know.
Yeah.
They're very noticeable and very understandable. Anybody that's taken any formal art education knows those guys very well. My kids name them.
Oh,
do they?
yes.
Yes, you
First of
know.
all,
And if I don't pay attention, the little ones will color them.
Yeah, right. Dip them in color.
Dip them in colors, and some of them have faces and
Yeah.
stuff. But
Oh.
that's quite okay. Let's talk a little bit about what some people can expect. Is there going to be anything else going on? Like South Boston's might have a little bit of music happening,
Yes,
maybe a
yes,
little
yes.
wine and cheese or something.
Yes, each of the studios will
Have their own little nosh thing, yeah.
We'll each have some food as people come in and visit. But in the entranceway, I think we're going to have a harvest. We did last year, and
That's
I
great.
think that's the plan again. And we have a welcome committee in the entrance when you come in, and they will give each person a map of the studios that are open and direct them, some starting at the top floor, some starting at the bottom, so people don't feel neglected.
Yeah, right.
And everybody gets visitors. And so I'm just hoping that people will come and show up and
Oh, people
enjoy,
are going to come
yeah.
and show up. No worries about that. I mean, I'm sure it's been well attended in the
Always
past.
has,
Yes,
yeah.
I know that it's one of the
Yes.
premier open
It's
studios
a
in the
flood.
city. I mean, it's right in the heart. I mean, you got the museums all around you. You got a lot of college kids available for your area. There's always people down there in the Fenway and
Yes.
enjoying the rose gardens. I used to go there as a kid and all the
Yes.
time. You know, it's a very beautiful part of the city.
Yes.
So I'm sure that there'll be plenty of people.
Yes, and
to
one of the
stop and say
wonderful
hello.
things about the Fenway Studios too is that we're now part of the whole Fenway Cultural Alliance
Yeah.
of institutions promoting art, and
Yeah.
so we've become in the last few years the Fenway Cultural District, the Arts and Cultural District.
Yes.
And so the Fenway Studios is the only artist studio in that Cultural Alliance, along with all the museums and other cultural institutions in that sort of rich area.
Well, I want to thank you both.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I want to wish you much luck. I'm sure that it's going to be fantastic. Can you let us know how it worked out for you?
Certainly.
Because I'm
Certainly.
sure that we'll have people calling us and telling us how it worked out. I
that's good.
don't think you have to worry
Yeah.
too much about that. Listen, we're going to take a really quick short break. We'll be back in 1 second. Please don't go away. You're watching It's All About Arts.
Okay.
Great.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Different view, dream come true. Bolts of lightning from above. It's upside down, it turns around. Still this rock and roll fits you.
Welcome back. Amanda, that's amazing that these open studios are just, they're flourishing. They're getting better and better and bigger. Is there anything out in your neck of the woods like this that they have where the artists kind of get together and
Not
put
to
on?
my knowledge. I know Etsy does a thing, but again, that's in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tend to be more city oriented, but hey, maybe I'll.
Could be a good idea. Could be an idea in the brew. You know what it is it's a great opportunity, like I've always said, for people to meet the artists, you know? Because the original concept of this program was for people to meet the artists, get to find out that they're real human beings just like everybody else.
Absolutely.
You know? There's no mystery to them, you know, even Nan, you know, right? Thank you. That was great. Listen, thank you very much.
Of course.
It was a full show.
It was.
We got to race
Went
along.
quick.
Don't forget, Friday night, I'll be performing out in Dedham.
Good luck with that. Not that
Yes,
you need
on
it.
November 4th. It's going to be a lot of fun. Once we get started, it's like, you know, we have such a good time.
I know.
performing,
Isn't that wonderful?
Singing and enjoying. We enjoy each other's company. Everyone else is eavesdropping.
Right,
and we
right,
just
right,
enjoy
right.
playing
Well,
with
kinda
each
like right
other.
now.
Yeah, kind of like right now, exactly. Listen, gang, thanks an awful lot for being here. Any last thoughts from you? You
Happy
good?
Halloween. We'll see you next week.
Yes, be safe out there, gang. Be careful. Keep your eyes out for the wee ones because they're out there
Scurrying around.
scurrying about. Listen, gang, like we like to say every week, get out there and do something artful for yourself. We've given you a couple of great places to go and great things to do. But like I like to say, keep in the forefront of your minds our mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews on foreign soil. Please get out, do something artful, do it for them. They'll appreciate it. Stay tuned for the Greek show. They'll be in a couple of minutes. We'll be seeing you cats next week, right? Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.